Hey Indie Witches, I'm Foxanne. Thanks for asking me these questions. I'm really excited to talk to you. So Foxanne came to be a few years ago. I've written poems and music and things like that pretty much forever. Started performing as a teenager, and a few years ago I decided I really wanted to kind of get a little bit more serious, figure out what my sound was, and I had a name, so that helped to kind of jumpstart the process. So my music making process, I guess it changes with each song and it's changed over time, but right now a lot of my songs start with phone voice recordings. So I'll just be in public, usually somewhere embarrassingly in public. I'll get some kind of melody idea or some kind of line in my head and I'll record it on my phone, bring it home, flesh it out on guitar a little bit, sing through it, figure out the lyrics, and kind of break it down from there. So my music's actually changed a lot since Foxanne first became an entity. When it began, it was a lot more of like a rock band because I had never really had a whole band before and I didn't really know how to get my song ideas across in another way. And since then, it's become a little bit more of a sophisticated sound. It's been a little bit more different. Instead of just like heavy rock drums, it's a little bit more tailored, different percussion. We use synthesizer now, which gives everything a really cool texture. And so it's obviously always going to be changing, as any music is, but it's changed a lot since it first started. So yeah, I also do science. I went to school at Rutgers for science, and I worked in research. I worked as an educator. I was literally a science teacher for one singular year. And, I've always written, I've always been a writer, and I realized pretty late in the game that science writing is a career. So now I write for like science magazines and blogs and different publications. Recently I've been writing a lot about astronomy and cool astrophysical things, and that's been a whole lot of fun. It doesn't apply to my music a ton yet. I guess maybe my scientific background plays into how I structure and write my songs and break things down in my head. But as I'm moving forward, I'm actually in the process of trying to write songs about science. So like explaining different scientific topics through music. So we'll see how that works out. If I could suggest one book to people, wow. If I could suggest a singular book to people, it would have to be The Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury. I'm not like a mega Bradbury stan. I'm not like familiar with every single book, but The Martian Chronicles, it's sci-fi, but it's totally like poetry. It's beautiful, it's so compelling and so like weird and out there, and it's just amazing. Like I would recommend it to literally anyone. So currently listening to, I've been running a lot because it's nice out, and I listen to a lot of trap music when I run, so I've been listening to a lot of trap. A lot of like embarrassing early 2000s trap. I've also, my favorite musician of all time is Devendra Banhart. So anytime I make a playlist or anything like that, it almost always has at least one Devendra song. So that's always in the rotation. This summer I've also been getting into country western music, like old school Hank Williams and just, sad cowboy music. I'd always written off country, and that was a mistake. I'd never write off Dolly Parton, obviously, but I've been getting really kind of into it just because I'd never really explored it before. We have a really exciting show coming up on October 16th. It's at Rockwood Music Hall, Stage 2, and we're gonna just put on a really big, awesome show. We have a lot of cool stuff coming up, and so we're gonna be celebrating a whole bunch of new music and a whole bunch of exciting things. So October 16th, mark your calendars. And so, last thoughts. So yeah, Foxanne, my stage name, I guess, Foxanne, really up to a lot right now, mostly writing. We're really working on putting out new music, so keep your ears peeled, keep your eyes peeled in the next few months. We're gonna be putting out a bunch of new stuff, trying to shape that sound even more. You can find us on Spotify, Foxanne, but you could also check us out on social media if you want, at Foxanne Music. We're on all the platforms, all the things. So thank you guys so much. Hey!